What's going on, traders? It's Andrew O'Connell with Pristine Capital coming at you with yet another market recap video. It is April 16th. It is options expiration day. So we all made it through OPEX. Please click the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this content, and I will continue to make it for you. Today we're going to talk about the price action, the indices. We'll go under the hood and check out our sectors and style factors. We'll talk about some of my trades for the day, and then we'll wrap up with some options order flow. But before we jump in, quick risk disclaimer: nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan and your own risk parameters. And last but certainly not least, do not YOLO your entire account into any one of my trades. All right, so let's jump right in here. We're going to see if we can make this one a little bit quick because it is Friday. So let's pull up. We have our S&P 500 here. You can see box scores for the day. We had the S&P 500 up 0.33%. We had the NASDAQ QQQ up 0.12%. We had the IWM small caps finish up 0.16%. And we had the Dow Jones finish up 0.45%. So we really got, this blow off into options expiration. You can see here, same story. We're trading above all these key moving averages. We're above this monthly value area here. And you can see at this point, we're trading above this R1 pivot level. And now we're even, pretty extended from that 5-day exponential moving average. You can see we closed at 0.23%. And we are still just riding this 5-day EMA higher. Same thing if we pull up our Qs. This was like a very muted day of price action. We kind of just chopped around for OPEX. You can see for the NQ, we closed up just a smidge, up 0.07%. And you can see again, the NASDAQ is really just grinding higher, riding that 5-day exponential moving average. If we pull up our Russell, you're going to see the Russell has been lagging behind. It finished up 0.09% today for the futures. But you can see here, now we're trading above these key moving averages, but we have been stuck inside this monthly value area for quite some time now, and we've really just been moving sideways for a few months. Then if we pull up our Dow Jones, you can see finished up 0.38% today, and this one as well, we're starting to approach that R1 pivot level, and we are really just riding this 5-day exponential moving average higher. So if we take a look under the hood, you can see here some of these FANG names did take a little bit of a breather, nothing crazy at all. You can see, Apple closed down 0.25%. You can see Nvidia was down a little over 1%, Google, Facebook. But you can see, we had some nice participation across the board today in this rally. One thing I think is very interesting, the consumer defensives continue to do well, utilities, healthcare, but yeah, definitely some broad participation within these large caps. If we look at our sectors, you can see home builders again having a blow off day, up 2.16%. And then you can see now gold miners are in one of our top 3 slots. If we look, there were some groups that didn't perform as well. So you can see the ARK funds, we're all down well over 1%, some even close to 2%, like this ARK Genomics. And you can see, this SPAC ETF continues to lag, cannabis as well. And some of these other, what I noticed really like the small cap themes, the more speculative themes, some of those are still under pressure. And then if we look at our style factors here, you can see best performing style factors for the day. We had international momentum up 0.76%. We had international value. So yeah, it just looks like international did pretty well today. And then we had defensives up 0.55%. So yeah, definitely kind of strange. Like other than the international stuff, you can see defensives and min-vol were the leaders for today. So definitely, more of like a defensive posture. Then if we pull up some of my trades for today, I had a bunch that were expiring for options expiration. You can see here, I'll pull these up. So we had, some options trades. Okta tried to scalp this one with some calls, ended up stopping out, paid 12.85, stopped out for 9.50, and it was pretty extended from the 5-day EMA. Baidu, I took some calls in the morning again to see if I could scalp them for a small winner, and was able to close those at the end of the day. I had a bunch of positions that were expiring today, so I had, and this was, probably one of my best trades of 2021. I had these Baidu call spreads that I picked up essentially when Baidu was like literally at the bottom of that Archegos liquidation. So I had, a max winner for those. I had the 190 by 200 call spreads, and then I also had the 195 by 200s. And I was able to get those both, super cheap, because it was in the middle of that liquidation. But then there were some trades that expired worthless as well. So Nanox was the one I had taken a shot on. Nanox, along with a lot of these other small cap growth names, really struggled throughout the month. And then this SPX Butterfly. This was one I put on, for a flyer here. I took this one on for a credit of 75. This one ended up blowing through my far strike here of this 41.80 in the morning. So that one expired for a loss as well. And then I closed out Capri. This is a diagonal call spread for a nice winner here. So yeah, pretty much, 3 winners, 2 losers, kind of like a mixed bag for me on expiration. But yeah, now pretty much for today, I didn't really want to add on a ton of new exposure or anything like that. But I did want to make some small adjustments. So you can see for stock trades, I added Baidu, just some common stock. I am thinking that for Baidu, if we get this Archegos liquidation thing has been going on for quite some time. And almost every day it's like, oh, there's more block selling, more block selling. Oh, this bank hasn't completely offloaded their positions yet, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's just sort of like this dark cloud around Chinese stocks right now. Baidu is one of my favorite names. I really like this name for the long term, so I added just some common shares here. That way, if it takes a while for this one to get going, there's no rush on that one. And then as well, what was the other one I added? Oh yeah, Enthusiast. I added to my Enthusiast Gaming, and you can see here. Enthusiast Gaming. I'll pull up. Yeah, for whatever reason, Enthusiast, you can't see it on TradingView. I mean, not on TradingView. You can't see it on FinViz, so I'm pulling up TradingView. Because this one, it's still an over-the-counter stock, but they are uplisting to NASDAQ. This one, right now my largest position, and you can see it's just trending very nicely. And I think that news of the uplisting is going to help this stock. So especially too, if small caps can ever, get their bearings and really start to make a move, Enthusiast Gaming, I think should participate in that move. So I added to my position today. And then really, heading into next week, I want to come in with an open mind, for sure. But one thing I'm noticing is, and I've talked about this the past couple days, but we're just seeing a lot of signs of, like some corrective activity in the future, just like, correction from these overbought levels. So like if I pull up here, this VVIX risk indicator, this thing flashed as my red signal about 3 trading days ago. And from then on, I've been, a bit more conservative. You can see this correlation where the market's going up, but the VVIX is either going up or just kind of staying sideways. This is still intact. So I am really of the mindset that this could very well have been, a blow off into options expiration. So coming into next week, I am positioned a little bit lighter. I barely have anything in the way of short-term calls. And I do actually have, some put options on the books just in case we do get that correction. I think for me, if next week comes and goes and, we're just still moving up in a straight line like this, I'll have to adjust my bias, stop out of those puts and really just, make sure I'm in line with the market and in line with the market trend. What I've noticed though is it would have to be very different this time to not get some sort of a pause or some sort of a dip. Because you can see here for this indicator, almost every instance where, volatility in the S&P 500 get very correlated, it does lead to some sort of pullback or corrective sequence. The market is just very overbought at these levels as well. And yeah, a lot of times when you get the gamma roll off of OPEX, that following week or two, that's where you can get, more sort of like freer flowing movement in the indices. But we'll have to see, what happens next week. Definitely want to come in with an open mind. Then you can see here for our options order flow, you can see we have some SPY players that came in this morning, and they were coming in, with some very short-term calls. So you can see these are April 16th. Then we had some players getting very aggressive in the Qs. So you can see we had some Qs calls going out to 2023. Then we had TQQQ calls. So this is a very aggressive place. This person, they bought, these expire in like 2 weeks. And they purchased, this is a triple leveraged NASDAQ ETF. And they purchased, calls on that. So this is like, they're very bullish on tech. You can see more tech here. You can see some hedges going up as well for the Qs for Tesla. And then you could see some individual names going up towards the end of the session. So we saw Apple, IPOE, which is one of Chamath SPACs, and Twitter as well. And then after the bell, we did see some, looks like hedges going up. So we'll have to see what happens next week. But we did all make it through options expiration. I'm going to be doing my normal weekend analysis. And for Pristine Capital members, I'll be sending out my macro video and also my weekend watch list. So that being said, hope you all have an awesome weekend, and I will see you all on Monday.